Alright, welcome to another Slogurk stream. Hell yeah. Yeah, unfortunately Slogurk has been going down in numbers. Turns out Tarmgo is better. Who could have known that Goif would have been better than, than the over slime? But anyway, we're giving him another shot in any case. The only changes I made to the main deck is I cut a breeding pool and I added a single copy of, where is it, Forgotten Cave over here. In order to have some late game Ren synergy going on. And we made a couple of changes in the sideboard. The disputes were pretty meh. I didn't think I really needed them, so we're going to keep in the Flusterstorms, but we're going to be bringing access to Unholy Heat as some extra removal spell, and the fourth copy, and then run afoul as a potential answer for Murktide Regents, Ember Cools, and whatnot. So those are the new additions to the deck. Everything else remains the same. If anybody has a good suggestion for a Force of Vigor style card, because like Force is not great here. Force is definitely not great, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is going to be the list that we're going to be playing through a league right now. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you there for the first run. All right, run number 1 against some sort of Lurrus deck. Opponent moves to 5. Don't know if I should be happy or scared. We do have a lot of gas. Also, they're not mulliganing to 5, they're mulliganing to 6, right? And the cat probably counts as 2 cards, so really they haven't mulliganed. They just keep it 7. Definitely that's the case. Alright, so they keep 5. Esper Sentinela. Unless they play a Sigarda Sade here, I'm just gonna take it kind of slow. Fuck. Well, super punished. Yep. Well, I guess we lose. I guess we lose. I guess I probably should have played around that, huh? God damn it. I hate hammers so much. I hate hammers so much. More than Neoform. I mean, it's the new Neoform, right? That's just what it is. Except it's like infinitely better. I guess we're gonna need the Goifs just to, you know, end the game. Same with the RCs. So we're gonna have to shave something else. Probably the Forgotten Cave. The perfect number of viewers. Yeah. I mean, we could have played around it last game. We could have certainly played around it. Not the best mana base, but if I have to go score myself, I can. We still don't know what we want to name. We're probably going to name Colossus Hammer, I would imagine. So they're drawing Shadow Spear. uh, uh, uh. Can go squatter myself to drop a Goif. Probably not gonna do that. How did firstly go? Went 4-1. I could go squatter myself. Let's just not do that, you know. Stomping ground here. Play Goif. Pass the turn. So now if they try to do something powerful, I can go squatter myself now because I can just play Bren next turn and I can go from there. So that's fine. Okay. Okay. I mean, the problem is they have Lurrus, right? And now I have to bolt the Smith. Now I have no answer for Lurrus. And this is kind of a big problem. I'm gonna put Lurrus in hand this turn. Or Stoneforge, sure. So the last card in hand is a hammer. Let's see what we're drawing. We're drawing a saga. I think I would like to draw a saga. So they can't attack unless they play into my game plan, which is to grind this out. If they play Sag, I'm just gonna play the Moon, it's fine. I definitely would like to draw some removal spell for this motherfucker. Once I do, I think I'm gonna be fine, but until we get there, I guess Saga is sort of a removal spell. Can I die out of nowhere here? I think I'm gonna name Inkmoth Nexus. And now we can start clocking. Put Lurrus in hand. Attack Ren. That is fine. So we're drawing a Tarn, which is obviously pretty bad. But the good thing is my opponent doesn't really have anything going on. And they can play Lurrus, but that Lurrus is going to be chomp blocking. Should try out the Esper Animator deck. Yeah, the Esper Animator deck is pretty cool. I watched a bunch of spiders run in that challenge, and it looked very cool. So if they get back a Memnite or something, they're just getting back Bubble. I was gonna say if they get back a Memnite, we can just kill it and then swing and force the trade. I guess it's not a trade because I can just go get Shadow Spear, right? Oh, I just say they're spellable and they die? 5, 6, 7? That's pretty funny. Yeah, the Esper Animator deck is pretty good. I like it a lot. We're on the draw now, which is pretty scary against Hammer. The no-lander's not gonna do it. Let's go to 6. And we're keeping an honest 6 instead of my opponent who's keeping a cheaty 6. Keep this. Probably bottom that and the Reclaimer. I feel like I'm just gonna need the iteration in order to win this game, so. Can we find Ursa Saga of the Alpine Moon off the top? Alpine Moon one time? Can we call it? Can we call the Alpine Moon one time? That's a way that we potentially get to win this game. Shadow Spear on top? Fuck no. We're gonna wait until we see more information. Fetch. So fetch means that I can potentially get a ghost quarter here. I'm gonna need to draw a Ren or something. Unfortunately, I have to go squatter right there. And if my opponent has something that they want to violate on end step, they can do that. Prismatic ending. F's in chat. Hammer. I'm gonna get fetch for stomping ground. We're gonna take a bunch of damage here, but I'm gonna fetch for stomping ground. They're just trying to grow the construct. Stomping ground, yes. I'm gonna try to heat the Stoneforge. And if we find something that can grow the DRC, that would be great. We get a free block on the Memnite. Yeah, I guess we're keeping that one on top. So if I keep this on top, nah, it's too greedy, right? To try to iteration into this plus something else. No, I need a Ren. That's what I need. Of course, that's our last card in hand, right? There would be no other possibility available. They gave me a chance. We're probably dead anyway. We mulled to 5. It's just too much to come back from. They're just gonna suit up the construct. And then the Stoneforge kills us. Oh, this is actually just lethal. Never mind. Alright, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, too bad. Alright, this hand is, I think, kind of a banger, so let's keep it. Raven's Crime. If this is 8 rack, I think I just want to pass the turn. Because the deck cannot beat a Resolve Ren and 6, right? Like, this deck simply cannot beat a Resolve Ren and 6. So, if we do get to resolve a Ren... Stomping Ground tapped. I guess if they have main deck Pied Needle, that could be a problem. Maybe. Also, I fetched wrong. I have both Iteration and Aether Spell. I should not have fetched for a basic. Because now I'm gonna delay my Saga turn if I want to. Yeah, that was bad. It's a lot of Sagas. This card is not gonna do anything ever this game. Clearly I'm a master. So I'm gonna delay this Saga so that I can just play Explosives on 0 and just kind of ride that to victory. So this forces the action on activating the construct main phase here. Let's see if they have the Pied Needle. They do. Okay. So them having the Pied Needle makes things a little bit awkward. If they don't play a land, they do play a land. Never mind. Shrieking Affliction. Because what we can do here is we can just bounce and we can play Explosives on 1. And just have a Ren continue to do its thing. I think I like that. Being that, exile Raven's Crimes. I think I'm just playing this on 0. And I'm just giving up on Ren. Like, I honestly don't think... No, I'm just gonna pass. I think my opponent's gonna be way too tempted to make a construct token here. So I don't think they're gonna be able to discard my explosives. The problem is I don't have any more answers to the Biden Needle, right? So the thing here is if... Oh, but then their dudes become small. And a Goif just blanks them? I guess my own Saga tokens blank them. So, explosives for 1. Draw a card. Crack explosives. Bolt there. Ren ping. Your go! You got me. I also wonder why my opponent is not playing... why are they not playing Lurrus? I'll take 1 point of damage. We should be turning the corner fairly quickly here. I'm gonna take 1 more point of damage. You got me. Oops. Ha, so the ability goes on the stack and until it resolves you cannot activate it to make a construct? That's pretty funny. I didn't know that's how that worked. Like to get back another Saga. Would like to play another Saga. Would like to make another construct. Would like to attack you for 4. So now I'm gonna have to get creative to win this game. Another rack. So a Zero Bridge means we're gonna have to pivot now. I mean, I still think we're gonna win, but now we're just gonna have to bolt my opponent out of the game, right? Yeah. That's the name of the game. Smallpox? You're joining an Inquisition. Oh, you can't choose how you stack these? I didn't know that. Huh, that's interesting. I thought that we could choose how to stack those. So I'm just gonna have to bold my opponent's face a lot now. Get more red sources in play. Make a token, because why not? Just making a bunch of tokens for no reason whatsoever. And I love how these are bolts that are protected from my opponent's discard spell. It's pretty funny. Pew! I'll take a land. Lands are great, because lands are lethal. Nice the rack. Honestly, my opponent is an absolute luck sack if you really think about it. They drew all 4 racks. Like, how am I supposed to beat that, you know? They're just trying to time me out here. Is that the strategy? Oops. Misclicked. Could have almost mattered. But it didn't. All of these look good to me. Moon heat. I just realized that Sloggin is the absolute nuts. Oh, I love that. Though, to be fair, I would imagine that like just most cards are good against my opponent's deck. Deck feels powerful, maybe we're into something here. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we got paired against 8-rack, right? A deck that in the year 2021 has literal 0 ways of beating this card. Like, it just cannot beat it. Like, you play this on turn 2 and the game is over. Like, you just don't need to do anything else. Just play this guy and be done with it. So against 8-rack, you basically never ever mulligan under no reason, so I'm just gonna keep. It also turns out that this hand seems fine, but we got Ren, we got iteration. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Reclaimer. Turn 1 the rack. Well, now do I just chill? If my opponent's smallpoxes, we're still fine, right? Imagine not using OG rack art. Yeah, definitely some value being left on the table there. Also, why would you lead on the rack? I guess that they wanna make it like the most likely that. Oh. All right. They just had the natty needle. Interesting. Maybe I should have held on to the Shadow Spear. Because of that card. Specifically because of that card. So Force of Vigor to hand. Bobble to play. And I'm gonna bubble right now because if I find another green source, I may want to force pitching that other green card. Land would be great. It's one of the bad lands. I don't want that land. Do you want to block? It's an F6. Fatal push my DRC. Okay. Oh, whoops. So I think they're going to find another rack here. I'm honestly considering just killing both racks. pitching the Ren. Naya's spell was kind of annoying. Because then we're too all in on this guy. Land? Yeah, not holding the thingy may come back to bite me. Factory actually grows the construct, which is important. They did show me Fatal Push, so I'm not just going to go all in on this Reclaimer. I guess if they Thoughtseize, I'm gonna go for that. So another factory, which is pretty annoying actually. There we go. So now they really need to top deck another Discard spell, otherwise we're just gonna win. Also, they should attack with the factory last turn, probably. They have Smallpox. Beginning of combat. Fire off the dudes. Okay. Do we get the removal spell? Just block there. And they know the last card in our hand is a Ren. So we only take 2. I think we just pass. It's kind of tempting to play out the DRC there. They drew Liliana? Wow. Yeah, I guess that's the way to do it. This triggers at beginning of end steps, at beginning of upkeep, so. One turn too late. Wow, that top deck Liliana was. Whew. Gasolina. Maybe one Pipe Needle for Lily. Nah, because we're gonna be blowing up explosives on one the vast majority of the time. Gonna choose to be on the draw here. Gonna keep this hand. Like Daddy Yankee Gasolina? No. Like real. Like good, respectable Gasolina. Opponent deep in the tank about this Inquisition. Hader's Spellbomb is the conclusion they arrived at. Very interesting. Do they always have the Saga? That's kind of insane, honestly. Every single time they had the Ursa Saga? That was a good top deck. And they don't want to know what's the other card that I top decked, right? They really don't want to know what was the other card. Stai falando PT no fundo? Maybe. I will discard an artifact. That artifact. So I think I want to play 2 threats here. Play that. Play that. We're gonna go with Pipe Needle for Ren. Make a token. And now we're gonna get iteration. Do we have another Saga? Dude. Must be nice. And it's really funny how like they're drawing the absolute nuts and it's just like their card quality is so low that we may still get there. Okay. So hand, bottom, play. So we're gonna start speeding out construct ourselves. Another Saga, which is gonna go. They're wasting it by playing it this turn. They're wasting a construct, which is good for me. I'll block, yeah. And when this Saga pops off, then DRC is going to be able to start getting in there. So this is looking pretty good. They're gonna be able to get Nihil Spellbomb though, so I have to watch out for that. I do have to watch out for Nihil Spellbomb. Which is kind of annoying. Three sagas in the top 13 cards. Must be nice. I mean, this is what they need in order to win, right? They need to really hit their top 5% draws. Because if they hit any normal draw, then we're just super far ahead. So they really need to high roll one of their best possible draws. So Spellbomb is gone, and so is Shadow Spear. Goyf is going to be at a minimum land, artifacts, land, enchantment, sorcery. We're gonna have to throw the DRC under the bus. Maybe I should have thrown the token under the bus. But if I find an answer to the Biden Needle, this is so much better. And then we can also just find an engineered explosives and then we just win, right? So we get two looks here. Force of Vigor, yeah, that one counts. Gonna make another token. I guess a Mishra's Bubble. They already have land in their graveyard, so we can just play this and say go. So we're gonna make the Goyf into so these are gonna be, both of these can activate themselves, so they're gonna be up to 9. And I can double block one of these and then chomp the other one. The Goyf is gonna be artifact, enchantment, land, sorcery, instant, artifact, so it's gonna be a 5/6. Oh, what did I do? Why did I do that? I didn't want to do. I wanted to double block the other one. Well, that was really stupid. I definitely did not want to do that. I said that I wanted to do something and then I did something completely different for no reason. That was just silly. Smallpox off the top. So that smallpox is not very good because we just don't block with the construct token. And now they're behind to my Tarmogoyf. They have to crack the snail spell without drawing a card. We get to draw a card off of the Soul Guide. Okay. Never mind. So this is actually a forced. But now they can't cast the thing. Well, now I'm just confused. Now I'm just confused. Can we draw something good here? Oh! I guess that counts. They're just sitting on that spell bomb, just doing nothing with it. Like, this rain has given me so much value. Sure, if they have push, I die, but... How many more Ursa Sagas are they gonna let me play? Another rack into my 5 mana hand. My 5 card hand, I mean. Opponents got no interest whatsoever. Finally. So I guess now that they exile everything, I am going to pop this. They're drawing a Thoughtseize. I think I'm popping both of them. We know we're drawing a Goif. The reason is so I don't take damage from the rack, which seems important. Because even if they have 2 discard spells, I'm not going to take any damage from the rack. So Pulse of Murasa and the other card are gone. Then the artifact for 3 mana are both gone. The Shadow Spear, sorry. So we have to protect our life total to the best of our ability. Finally gonna smallpox. Thoughtseize first. I mean, they kind of have to smallpox here, because this Reclaimer is kind of threatening to do some good stuff. They should take the Goif or the Reclaimer here. Probably the Goif. This game is close. This game is super close. I think we have enough mana, so I'm just gonna plus. And leave the Reclaimer as a blocker in case I need it. I need to. Not playing the land because of the double rack on the other side of the battlefield. We do die to a series of like pushes and stuff like that, but also my opponent's dying to the clock while we're talking. This game ended up being a lot more interesting than I was expecting it was going to be. And definitely a lot longer. Blood Chief's Thirst. Sure. They know there's another Ren in my hand, so they better have something for that. Because if they don't, they just play the card for no reason. Also, my Goif is a fucking 7/8. Sup. Okay. So rack gets activated. 1, 2, make a token. 1, 2, crack. Get another saga. So we still have basic island and basic mountain in the deck. Oh, there's an Urborg too. Sweet. I don't even have to discard. Nice Urborg. I'll block you. Literally their only out, right? That was exactly their only out. Just assemble lethal and give their dude Swamp Walk and kill me because of the Urborg. And they just completely threw it there. It wasn't lethal just yet. They're still missing one artifact, and I think we're probably gonna start. Okay, so my opponent was just confused. Yeah. They wanted to do the thing, but they attacked, and for whatever reason... yeah, they just didn't know how it worked. My opponent says that they're still learning. But yeah, I think we're gonna... Unless they have another one, we're probably gonna be able to turn the corner here. And this turn, I'm probably going to just play a Ren, get that going. Instead of activating a Reclaimer. But now these are lethal attackers, right? So they have a forced jump. That's 18. Okay. That was a game. That was a game. I was pretty scared at one point when my opponent drew 3 sagas in their top 10 cards or something, but we managed to get there because of a couple of missteps from my opponent. To be fair, the Funeral Charm wouldn't have been good enough on that turn anyway, so like I think we would have just gone to 1. But yeah, it was obviously very, very close. All right, see you next round. All right, totally forgotten that this card was in our deck. This hand is not good enough though. This hand is probably okay. Ship that one. Misty Rain Forest. Sweet. Probably playing against Temur Rhinos here. I mean, I guess some deck that did not hit the second land drop, that's what I can tell you. Misty Rainforest. Misty Rainforest. So I'm probably gonna bring in Flusters. Now the question is, do we want stuff like engineered explosives? Because it could be a control deck, right? It could be like a reclamation deck or something. Whatever it is, I probably don't want Ghost Quarter. And I guess I'm gonna hedge by bringing a Chalice. Because it could be leaving in as well. Basic Island, that's pretty scary. Okay, so it is Rhinos. Uh-oh. I'm gonna go for this because Reclaimer can find me my basics. So actually the way for me to play around Blood Moon is by doing this. Good old double stomp. It is time! It's time for the Gurk! Get Gurked, opponent. Get Gurked! Yes! The Gurk was too much! The Gurk was too much! Opponent could not handle it! They just couldn't handle the Gurk. Wow. That's just perfect. That's just perfect. See you next round. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna keep this hand and be very, very sad if I whiff. But still believe that this is the keep. And I'm gonna get a stomping ground off of this. Maybe it's been spoiled by Murktide. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. What I was saying. Sweet. Sleep forever. Both are possible options. Another DRC. Get some value. Bin that. Keep that. Swing for one. So now the question is gonna be, oh, they killed the dude? That's so good for me. They killed both of my dudes? That is so good for me. What's up? What's up? My name is Goif. Tarmo Goif. Suspend Rift Bolt, says my opponent. Suspend Rift Bolt again. So what we do is get an island, we cycle, and now we float. But no, I can't do that. Get Shadow Spear. Oh, why did I tap my mana like that? Whoops. It's a bad way to tap mana. I would like to gain 7, please. Thank you. I have no idea why I tapped my mana like that. Like, I had perfect information, right? Like, I could have played one of these iterations that's sitting in my hand now. If my opponent can manage to deal me 21 right now, I am ready to flip the table. I'm flipping it. I'm not scared to flip the table. If I have to flip it, I will flip it. That was close, man. That was actually pretty close. I mean, we were gonna get there anyway, but... Pulse! Hell yeah. Bring in some more cheap interaction, get some flusters in there. I'm considering forces or explosives because of the vortex. The vortex is kind of a big deal. Maybe they won't bring it in against me. Well, I think I'm keeping this hand. Gubbo. Mutagenic growth. Do it, opponent. Do it! I dare you. I dare you to mutagenic growth your Goblin Guide right now. Do it or no balls? Okay. Hopefully they just played an Eidolon here. Can I afford to shock here to put the Goif into play one turn earlier? We go to 13, opponent bolts me on end step, down to 10. Oh, there's no way I'm bracing them, right? It's so rough. Mono iterations. I wonder if I should have played Saga there instead of the island. It's kind of interesting. Well, that's very acceptable. We even get to pulse back the Forgotten Cave for value. Whew. It's too hot. It's too hot. Pulse of Murasa, the real MVP. The real MVP. Another path. I mean, it's kind of pretty good for us that my opponent has like monopath to exiles, right? I think I'm chumping. They have a fetch, so I'm not gonna be able to play around Searing Blaze. I can also just take it. They only have 3 cards. We go down to 14. Yeah, we can start clocking them. I think that's better. Particularly because there's a bubble on top. So I think I'm just gonna take the 2 here. Next turn we get to speed out 2 constructs. Yeah, it's just better. Just better to do that. And I don't think I'm gonna get the Shadow Spear this turn because 14, if they have, I'm at 14, they will need Bolt, down to 11. Like, I guess Boros Charm, Bolt, Bolt. Like, if they have double Boros Charm, double Bolt, I will die. But that's the only way that they can kill me from 14 with only 4 cards, which is the max that they're going to have on their turn. And that's because they cybered a bunch of Paths to Exiles against me. So they gave me all the mana that I needed to get my Ursa Sagas going. Are they tanking on something? Like, what's going on right now? I'll take 2. Yeah. We knew that they had that because of how they've been playing, but wasn't much that we can do. And I'm gonna make some tokens here. Just leave these bubbles in place just so my constructs survive Lightning Bolt. They've been taking so much damage from the Sunbaked Canyons. I'm playing around Searing Blaze by making the token right now. Smash to smithereens. Okay. Path to exile my construct. You got it. It's been a while, feel out of magic, but I feel myself strangely back in it, looking to pick up Amulet again, but was wondering if Savage Summon is supposed to be stuck. There's so many lists floating around. Yeah, Savage Summon was something that I was trying. I wasn't super sold on it, to be honest with you. It's okay, but you know, most things are just okay. So I think I care more about the... I guess that we can die, though. Not that we would have had any ways to play around it, but... we could die here. They have Bolt. And this time I am going to get Shadow Spear. We already got the Smash the Smither inside of their hand. I have to guarantee that if I attack next turn... So, the Bolt. Another Smash, dude. Jesus. Well, I mean, there isn't really much to be done here. Oh yeah, I can find Fluster. It's not a Fluster. So if they have Bolt, I'm dead. Well, we beat that one. But we don't beat Daddy to Lightning Bolt. Wow, got there. Woo! That was close. See you for the last round. Alright, last round against a Kaheera gamer. So this could be either Elementals or Control. I think this is fine. We're gonna start to do some Reclaimer stuff. Reclaimer not as good as against Control as it used to be, right? Like back in the Control plays 4 copies of Path to Exile days. Those were some good times. Okay, so it is Elementals. So we have a couple of ways that we can play the next turn. I kind of want to play Scalding Tarn. Will there think that Ren and 7 fits? Nowhere. It's not a good enough card for Modern. It's bad. It doesn't fit anywhere. opponent. Are you there? Sloggin Triumph. Okay, so they are setting up their engine with Recent Reef. My mana is going to be a little bit taxed. Just going to pass the turn here. And next turn I'm going to be able to play Goif plus Heat. Gonna fetch so I can grow the dude. I'm gonna Steam Vents here. Heat right now before my opponent can protect it with Ephemerate. Play the Goifo. Yeah. If they have something like Ephemerate plus Solitude or something like that, that could be a problem, but they're just chumping. I'll take the chump. Yeah, I'll definitely take the chump. Okay. We're gonna have to find a Ren or something. We're not gonna be able to grind them down with what we have. We're gonna need more. Why not Gigant as a companion? Yeah, I mean you're right. It is free. I should probably play it. Honestly, I didn't really consider it because I didn't really think about it. Seems like so out of this deck's element that it kind of slipped my mind. But maybe I should. Maybe I just should play it. You are right that it does seem free enough. Yeah, that's really hard to beat. Yeah, that's really hard to beat. That's gonna be really hard to beat. They're gonna be drawing 2 more cards next turn. Man, Mole Drifter plus Ephemerate is what's up. It just rules, you know? It just fucking rules. Just such a sweet interaction. Okay, so just fetch for no reason. Got it. All right, these iterations are gonna have to be absolute gasoline. These iterations are gonna need to be really, really good because we're falling behind pretty quickly to this Mole Drifter. But this is the kind of deck that Elemental preys upon, right? This is exactly what the Elementals player wants to see. Like somebody trying to get cute and grinding, and then Elementals just completely runs them over. So that's why I like the deck so much. That's why I think it's so good. Card's fucked up. Card's fucked up. Then ephemerate again on the upkeep. Oof. My opponent's living the life over there. So draw that on the bottom. I think as funny as it may sound, like we actually just have to kill the Mole Drifter here. Because it what gives them the most value if they ephemerate, and it's free because the 2 damage doesn't matter as much as the 4 damage. So now if they do want to draw a card, which I think I would if I were in their situation, I think I would draw the card of the Omnath. So I would target ephemerate, but at least they're giving up, you know, something real, which is 4 points of damage. Sure. It wasn't a holy heat, so maybe the fact that it wasn't a holy heat maybe means that I'm supposed to kill the Omnath because it's the harder threat to answer. Eight, 12. So we go down to 1. I guess that's what it is. Sexual Drift still bugged. I don't know. Last time that I checked it out, it was. Oh. Okay. I guess I was supposed to bounce. I think that I needed the card. That's why I was planning on cracking the Soul Guide Lantern, but it's fine. We like heat. We like torpor orbs. That's really it. I don't think Void Mirror is good against elementals coming out of my deck specifically, so I'm not gonna bring it in. This matchup seems abysmal. This matchup seems very bad. We're just gonna have to hope that we draw torpor orbs and my opponent does not find prismatics. That seems to be the way for us to... No, Void Mirror is bad. Void Mirror is only good against decks that expect to beat the elemental gamer by turn 5. If you're expecting the game to go past turn 5, I understand how the card works. I literally played the latest competitive event with elementals. Yeah, I understand why the card works. I'm explaining to you why it doesn't. I'm explaining to you why it's not good. If you're playing a deck like this one that expects to bring the game to turns 6+, then Void Mirror is a 2-mana do nothing. Because your opponent is just going to start hard casting their stuff. If you're playing Hammer, If you're playing Hammer and you're expecting the game to be over by turn 3, then yes, 100%. Bring in the Void Mirror, it's going to be very good. But I think it's very silly to consider cards good against X deck in the abstract, because that's just not how Magic works. Cards are only good in context. Yeah, for sure, Arikimok. But it's some because it is something that I heard many people say. That's why I'm just taking a minute to explain why I think that is wrong. Also, my opponent's making the most out of the time, taking all of the full 3 minutes to sideboard. We're talking about mirror versus elementals? Yes, exactly. And why I am not bringing it in. Gonna turn one bubble myself here, so I know what I want to lead with, whether with the fetch land or the breeding pool. This hand may be a little bit slow though. I think it's fine. We'll like to have a Ren in 6. Ren is actually quite solid versus elementals. Ren is actually quite solid. Copperline Gorge, I'm not too interested in, so we're just gonna fetch for a stomping ground here. DRC, okay. I wonder if my opponent's going to be bringing in something like Engineered Explosives. I'm probably not going to play around it before I see it, but it's definitely an interesting thing to consider. Let's do Steam Vents. Two card types in the graveyard. One interesting thing is that if I really feel like I need the pressure, I can play Saga and then suck the Saga to go get another Saga, and that would help me grow both the DRC and the Reclaimer. Okay, never mind then. Torpor. Not quite Torpor, but it's fine. Of course, a little bit of dis-synergy here, but it is what it is. There's always some tension between Red and 6 and Elvish Reclaimer. You know, you just don't know whether... I think Ren is a she, so like she stole his girl, you know? Just plain slamming the Risen Reef in the face of the active Ren 6. Oh, that explains why. All right, Bubble Self, Ursa Saga. Yeah, I guess I probably won that. So play that. Definitely killing that guy. Serve with that one. Gonna activate Saga. Next turn Reclaimer is gonna be a 3/4. We're gonna play the second Saga. Make another token. Yeah, Omnath is pretty good. Omnath is pretty good. Yep. Omnath is pretty good there. Making a bunch of Manases. Many Manases and many Damashes. Oh. Well, that is more manageable. I can deal with that. Bolt. So they have 3 cards. We just have to dodge Solitude or Fury. Fury would be even worse than Solitude because Solitude would at least allow us to gain some life. Okay, that works. I can work with that. And Holy Heat off the top would be pretty sexy. Harbinger. What are we getting, opponent? Probably Muldrifter. Either Muldrifter or Risen Reef are the 2 things that I would consider in their spot. This game is close. We're definitely behind. I guess we're at sort of parity. Yeah, they do get the Muldrifter, which makes sense. It's just such a good card in this sort of board styles. Bolt. We get our life gain, green, red, play Ren, get back Saga, play Saga, pass the turn. So there goes Muldrifter. It's not looking great for the home team. So I guess I'm gonna have to go get either Spellbomb, bounce the Kaheera, and minus the Ren on the Recent Reef. It's not pretty, but Yeah, I mean that's what Elementals does, right? Like again, that's why I like this deck so much. It's just like this is what it does. This like what my opponent is doing. Like it's not that my opponent is getting lucky or anything. It's just this is what the deck does. That is why I think it's so much fun and why I've been enjoying it so much lately. This is just what it is. Also, my opponent kept in sprawls, which is weird. Time Raveler. Can also kill a Time Raveler, but it's imperative to kill this thing. If we don't kill this thing, we can't win. The Elemental Stick may be okay. Yeah, I heard something like that too. They could also just have Ephemerate, which would be devastating, but I mean, I'm playing to my outs. There are multiple things that I can't beat here, right? Because I'm not drawing my removal spells. I have 6 removal spells left in my deck. I have 6 removals left, and I just can't find them, so because of that... Wait, what? We won? How did we win that game? I'm not gonna ask anything. Did it just flood? I mean, I'm surprised. All right, the last game, the moment of truth. Can we get back-to-back 4-1s with our brand new brew? Can we do it? Can we get back-to-back 4-1s with a brand new brewski? I'm gonna keep this. How was Slogurk? Not very good. Not really very good. We've been cutting it a lot. Probably just cracking this regardless. How do I feel about turning this guy into a 4-4? I think it's better. than playing Ren, because also that allows me to start beating down next turn. And it also means that if they go turn 3 Recent Rift, we can Ren and minus. I'm gonna go get a basic forest. And then pass the turn. Well, that's devastating, obviously. Well, hopefully those explosives come on time. Would also love to see that torpor. I wonder where those torpor are. If they left in sim and a custom made it draw a card, put line to play again to life, may be a bit better. Yeah, may have been a little bit better. It's a good CMC for that effect, right? Does Rip feel like a reporting? No, Rip seems fantastic against me. It seems like fantastic. And if they have the 1-2 punch of Rip into Alpine Moon. Imagine they're gonna put Kaheera in hand. Kaheera. Why do I summon these things to happen to me? Because I just summoned that shit, you know? My opponent didn't have it in hand. They didn't have it in hand. And what happened is I just summoned it and it just showed up in their hand, you know? That's what just happened. I just summoned it to their hand and that's why they had it. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. Please have mercy. All right. Where are my expressive iterations? Being that shit. Ping that shit. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. In before Fury. Pew, 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 pew. Another Omnath. Yeah, that's just too much. That is just way too much. That's just way too much, unfortunately for us. How do we win? Glyphs are not cards, right? So we can't beat Ephemerate, so I'm not playing around it. But I'm gonna hit here because we get a surveil. Yeah, that's how we win. You have another Omnath. All right. we were just never in this game. we were never in this game, I guess. I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough. Yikes! That was a big yikes. That was a big yikes. Yeah, Elemental seems like it's a miserable matchup for us, and like their hand was just. Even if I could have stacked my deck, I don't think that I would have been able to beat that draw. But okay, 4-1 and 3-2 is not so bad, particularly when we consider that we played against a couple of pretty bad matchups. Namely Tron, Elementals. We lost to Hammer because I didn't play around something, and I didn't play around my opponent having the absolute perfects in their mul to 5, and they did. If I cast Lower, you can run Lurrus. Yes. So how do I cast it though? And you're too late, Stabs. I already went over this like 3 times. This is actually how this deck started. This deck started like this. Then I moved over to this, and then I thought, oh, I guess I like to play Expressive Iteration, and that's why we ended up in Temur. So yes, I am very, very, very aware that Lurrus is a card. But what I was not aware is that Giganta is a card, and apparently we can just play Giganta. The only things that conflict with Giganta are the forces in the sideboard, so it seems free enough, I guess. So that's another thing to consider. Wow, you have a job? Sick brags, dude. Sick brags. But I mean, this deck has much more legs than I thought it would have. Like when we played against Tron, the Reclaimers were super clutch. We're able to go turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 go get Ghost Water, turn 3 set up Ren, and we also got to buy some time with Alpine Moons and shit. So that was pretty cool. I was expecting Tron to be just straight up unwinnable, and it felt pretty bad, but like we actually had some game, which is nice. And my opponent was, they were trying to set up stuff. They were going to set up Blast Zone, and then we had the Biting Needle for the Blast Zone. So we had like multiple layers of things that got in their way, which was pretty cool. We can interact with them in multiple different ways. Job lets me do stuff like this. Wow, must be nice, Steps. Thank you for the cheer. Yeah, probably Sloggin is not where we want to be though. As much as it saddens me to let the Gurk go, it's possible that maybe, just maybe, this card is not good enough. I'm probably gonna keep playing it maybe like once or twice more, just because just it being here totally maximizes the clickbait value, but. It feels like it's a little bit, just a tiny little bit not good enough. But the rest was cool. The iterations were a little bit awkward sometimes because we're actually a pretty heavily red-green deck. Like much more than I originally expected. It's also just possible that it's very, very likely that we are supposed to just play monkeys here, and that should help a lot because it makes our green splash a lot more feasible, because we only have green cards at costs 2 and 3, which makes our fetching a lot easier as well, and it should make our iterations easier to cast. But I just wanted to cast Reclaimer again, just feel something. Just wanted to feel something a little bit again. But yeah, I'm not too upset about the results of a 4-1 and a 3-2. It was a good time, and it was fun. Like I had a good time playing the deck. These were long matches though, so there's that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.